We could not have had a better day. Seems like every day is getting better and better. You heard the government say on opening statements that listen to the tapes with your own ears, and that's what we're reiterating. I think as you listen to the tapes with your own ears, you hear exactly what we've been saying from day one. Beason has over 120 tapes. The government offered, I think, somebody said 6, maybe 7, and of those only 1 complete tape. The rest of them are partial tapes. I think at one point 66 times he said either I don't know or I can't remember. It just couldn't have been a better day for us. I thought that every lawyer did a good job of pointing out their points, and I think that we are where we are. Process is moving a little slower, but we're moving along. Can I answer any questions before we move on?
What has been done, or what do we know about Beason's credibility today?
I think that everybody's got to judge it. I think at this point there is no credibility.
Do you think he's his own worst enemy with some of the stuff?
I think, you know, my experience has been with a witness, if you'll get up there and you tell what you know, and you don't try to be an advocate, just get up there and tell the facts, that you're a lot better off, and the examination will be a lot quicker. When you get up there, and that's the lawyer's job, that's not the witness's job. And I think that's one of the problems he had. He tried to be an advocate. He should have just stuck to the facts. And the more he tried to do, the more trouble he got into. And I tell you, just very unfortunate for this state for some of the things that came out today. Sure was.
As interesting as the transcripts were, would it have been even more impactful to have played the audio?
No, not really. I think the I think they didn't want to play any more audio, to be candid with you. You heard some of the unfortunate language that's on some of these tapes, and I think that may be a reason that we heard a very few number.
What about from the defense perspective? You know, why do you choose to just go over the transcripts rather than you can play the tape yourself?
Just easier. It's just a lot easier to do and a lot quicker to do. We have no burden. I mean, it's their responsibility. They've got a major responsibility. They've told all of y'all about these tapes. They've told you what the tape's going to say. They said, listen to the tape. Well, you listen to the tapes. You hear what the tape said. You ain't heard anything about Milton McGregor. You've heard about Ronnie, Gilly, and Jerry Massey. That's what we said from day one. And you know, if you've got a case, you tell somebody, listen to the tapes. Well, don't you play the tapes? You play 7 tapes out of 120? Does that make common sense to y'all? It doesn't to me. It doesn't make any, I don't believe anybody in that courtroom. But I tell you what, it's just, I'm an Alabamian, first and foremost, and I just tell you, what happened in this courtroom is not good for our state. Okay? And I'm not talking about the trial. I'm talking about some of the things that came out on some of these tapes are very, very disappointing. Any of our public officials would use that kind of language and make those kind of comments in the 2000s. It just doesn't make any sense to us. It's very disappointing. Y'all have a great day.
Some of the other tapes.
Do what?
From the other audio that y'all looked at, is there similar language in some of the other ones that y'all
could be?
heard?
There could be. Yeah. You may have some of these other people that take a stand that are going to have to answer why they use certain kind of language. I'm not talking about the cussing. We've dealt with the salty language. That's coming. But you got a fair question. You got a fair question.
Hear some more.
Got a fair question. You may hear some more. Got a fair question. The people who take the stand need to understand that they're going to answer for what they've said.
Were there any issues pre-trial with some of these tapes on discovery on the government's part?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't heard any. No. I mean, you know, they did the taping. And we got them during the discovery stages. And of course, I think it's pretty clear if you've watched it that we've reviewed them all. If there's any doubt on anybody's mind that we haven't looked at them all, but I think you need to see, if you watch what's going on in that courtroom, who's reviewed the tapes, who's listened to the tapes, who's summarized the tapes, who's prepared on the tapes. I think I'm just asking y'all those questions as good observers.
Why do you think he kept the tape recorder running while meeting with members of his own party?
I have no idea, and I have no idea why he would go out on his own and buy taping devices. I don't understand that. I mean, that's what he said he did. And I got a feeling back at the State House as a bunch of his Republican friends are wondering, oh my goodness, what have I said on these tapes that he's taped me on? And you know, I think it's pretty candid. It's on there.
You think Beason was in a strong quest for power?
I think he was. I think today he probably realizes he might have run out of it. I really do.
Are you concerned at all about, you know, this is only one witness, obviously, future witnesses?
Oh, sure. Look, you don't know me, but I'm always concerned. That's why I'm always prepared. That's why we come to the courtroom prepared. If you're not concerned, you're not going to be prepared. We're concerned every day. We'll be here every day prepared. We said from day one, Mr. McGregor's innocent. We're going to come here prepared every day to prove it. And if anybody says we hadn't stood up to the test yet, I'll be glad to talk with you about it. Have a great night.
Do you expect Barry Mass to get up at some point tomorrow?
I hope so. I do. Yes, be fair with you, I do. Unless Beason takes another full day, Phil, which it's possible. I mean, it's certainly possible.